The Peninsula Gallery is pleased to welcome back the prestigious Washington Society of Landscape Painters for another juried exhibition, showcasing a variety of traditional and contemporary landscapes. From street scenes to ocean waves, floral arrangements, and boating trips, the works from this famous society are sure to please every taste. In this video, we will take a brief look at the history of one of DC's oldest art organizations, exploring the formation of the Landscape Society and how it has evolved since. We also sat down with current member and exhibiting artist Pattee Hipschen, who discussed what being a member of this exclusive group entails. The Washington Society of Landscape Painters is one of the oldest landscape painting groups in the United States, tracing its origins to 1913, when Charles Seton and Winfield Scott Klein met one Sunday while painting on location. This chance meeting led to additional weekend painting excursions, and over the next 4 years, they were joined by a number of other artists who also had an intense interest in painting outdoors. By 1916, the group had become known as the Ramblers. There is almost no record of their earliest activities. The first handwritten account of their painting jaunts is contained in the logbook of the Ramblers, a fascinating handwritten chronicle of painting excursions between April and July 1917. In 1919, the Ramblers took on a more formal name, adapting themselves to the Landscape Club of Washington, D.C., which was also the year that the organization held its first exhibition of member artworks. In 1927, the Landscape Club held its first annual banquet at the Arts Club of Washington, D.C. Members appeared in formal dress to honor the occasion, an event that continued until World War II started in the early 1940s. With the advent of World War II, Landscape Club activities were curtailed. Annual banquets were abandoned, and the gasoline shortage put a damper on some painting excursions. But, except for the fall of 1942, exhibitions continued to be held, though much less frequent than before the war. In 1986, the organization changed their name to the Washington Society of Landscape Painters, to make clear to outsiders that the group consisted of artists and not gardeners. The club's original manifesto only allowed men to be part of the society. The rationale for excluding women was centered on the rigors of painting on location and the difficulty of trapezing over the rugged countryside, which was deemed too arduous for the fairer sex. But as our culture progressed, so did the society. And in 1993, the Constitution was amended to admit women into the society. Today, the society includes a number of women who are ardent outdoor painters and who can bear the treacherous journey across the wilderness with their painting supplies. Today, the society is still active and remains committed to the original mission of the Ramblers. The group, now in its 109th year, continues to paint on location and build camaraderie amongst their fellow plein-air painters. Pattee Hipschen, a recent addition to this exclusive organization, explains what the group does and why it remains as relevant as ever.
This is a very unique group because there are only 40 members, and it's very difficult to get in. There's an integrity to the work that we have to show, and there's also a high level of skill. But the group that's the long-term group, they're fast friends, and because we get together once a month and there's banquets and people look forward to that, and they keep up with, they'll invite people to their homes to paint. So there's just a lot of camaraderie. I've known about the society for a long time, and it's, again, something that was looked at, the Washington Society of Landscape Painters, and I had several friends that were in it, and I'd actually been told, you should try to join that, being a landscape painter. And one of my friends came up to me, she's a member, and she offered to sponsor me, and I said, oh yeah, sure, that'd be great. Not thinking I'd get in because, again, only 40 members, and the list to get in is really long. So you have to be sponsored, and then you're vetted, and so I was really, really happy when I got in. We have 4 meetings a year. They used to always be in place, and now of course they're all on Zoom. We do a monthly paint out, an official monthly paint out. It's on the last Sunday of every month, and it's a pretty good attendance. In addition to that, like I said, people invite the group to their homes. They live in these beautiful homes, and they have gardens, or they have friends that have farms, and we'll all meet there, and that's always really nice. There is a banquet once a year, and people bring a piece of art, and everybody gives it a very friendly critique, and then they pick a winner. We also do community-sourced activities. It introduces plein air painting perhaps to people who wouldn't know that it's available. We also invite anybody that wants to come to our paintouts. You don't have to be a member. You can come and watch or paint with. So we usually get guests that come in.
The Washington Society of Landscape Painters exhibition will be on display at the Peninsula Gallery from August 6th to the 28th in Lewes, Delaware. More information about the show, as well as a preview of the pieces on display, can be found at peninsula-gallery.com.